Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our webinar Wednesday. Tonight's edition, we're going to be talking about Kiwanis Partnerships. As a reminder, if you're on with us live, you can click the participant list at the bottom of the screen to raise your hand to be unmuted to ask a question. You can also use the chat feature at the bottom of the screen to ask any questions as well. This is only during the live portion of the webinar. I'd like to welcome you all this evening as our guest from Landscape Structures. We have Mike Fingeroth, the Regional Sales Manager for the Northeast Territory. Welcome, Mike, and we'll turn it over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Jim. Glad to be here. Appreciate the opportunity. So tonight we're going to be talking about how Kiwanis and Landscape Structures are partners in play. I'm going to talk a little bit through, I guess, the play industry and maybe some of the reasons that play is important and how they correlate to Kiwanis values and organizationally how we match up pretty well. So before we jump into it, I'll show you some historical playgrounds that you guys, some people, depending on your age, may have seen. Playscape of the play world has changed pretty significantly over the last, 100 years, obviously. Over the last 5, 10, 15 years, there's been a lot of changes as well. We now have governing bodies in the ADA, which affect accessibility, but we're going to talk a little bit through what we do as a company to really be fully inclusive, just beyond physical barriers of access, what we do to include everybody, as well as including the supervisors, children, etc. But these are some historical playgrounds you might have seen. So there's the ADA that's out there. There's the CPSC, which is the Consumer Product Safety Commission, and then there's that's the CPSC and the ASTM, the Association for Standards and Testing and Measures. So those organizations put out guidelines for playgrounds. So what you see today obviously does not look like this, but I just wanted to give you kind of a recap of where the playground industry has come from and where we are today. So we're going to talk a little bit about the value of play and some of the reasons why play is actually a really great project for a lot of Kiwanis groups. So play actually stimulates the 5 senses, which are sight, sound, hearing, touch, taste, smell, etc. There's another 2 senses that we really believe that play really helps build in children and adults as well. And that's the vestibular sense, which is your ability to keep balance and keep your equilibrium, which is in your inner ear. And then also your what's called the proprioceptive sense, which is your ability to pretty much find something in air and kind of capture it and bring it into you. All important skills, whether it's for learning and developing for kids, or therapy for adults, or people working out, doing multi-generational fitness activities. There's a lot of benefit to having play as the center of the community and partnering up to do that together. So teaching social skills is very important for children as well. That's also another aspect of play. Kids learn to role play on the playground, negotiate. They learn to work with each other, team build, imagination, inspiration. A lot of that comes on the playground, and it really teaches kids how to kind of work with each other and solve problems. Other topics of interest that have been really big, in the U.S. In terms of headlines and initiatives that the country has taken a stance on are childhood obesity. That's been an epidemic. We'll talk through some of the numbers which make a difference in childhood obesity and what obesity means to the United States, and another reason why physical activity is another great initiative for Kiwanis groups to take on. Another topic is providing outlets for families of all walks and status. Parks really are a place where anybody can come meet, whether you're rich, poor. It takes out the barriers of racial inequality. It takes out the barriers of socioeconomic activity, and you can really provide a medium where anybody can come and associate with anybody else. So, great opportunity for an organization like Kiwanis, who does such great things, to put spaces in where people of all walks can really get together. The other topic that's been really pertinent as well in terms of the value of play is developing downtown areas and plazas. I myself go to a lot of municipality shows. Go to the National League of Municipality show. I've been to the Ohio Municipal League show, New Jersey. Some of these shows are very big in terms of community development, and everybody's really fighting to keep tax dollars in their area. They're trying to keep their citizens happy. And we'll talk about some of the societal shifts in just a few minutes of where people are going. But play provides an opportunity to really keep people playing, active, keep your communities vibrant, keep tax dollars flowing around your community, and really, help to support, just a healthy community in general. So that's a little bit on the value of play. I touched on some of the headlines. We offer continuing education classes, and offering. We'd love to come and speak to any of your groups on any of the topics you hear today, us discussing, or we'd be happy to come just talk about play in general. But some of the topics that are most affecting our industry that over the last 10 years have made a difference in the way we actually design playgrounds are childhood obesity and creating fitness-focused type playgrounds, creating spaces where kids can get a good workout. We use CDC guidelines as our baseline for what we measure that upon, but we don't go beyond that or suit it to your community. But that's a very big topic of conversation. I put in nature deficit disorder. That refers to the nature play experience. There's a lot of urbanization going on, and there's towns are growing, and children are spending more time looking at computer screens, whether it's social media. They're spending time on their cell phones, on their iPads, and they're not getting out into nature. So we spend a lot of time teaching people about the benefits of being outdoors and how to incorporate play experiences with natural experiences, whether it's simulated or actual nature products, and how you can fit that in. Increase in disability in the United States has also been pretty significant. The face of disability is really the turning point. The ADA, as I mentioned before, was a great start to creating a barrier-free and inclusive society. However, as an organization, Landscape Structures, I'm sure Kiwanis also recognizes that disability goes way beyond that. Autism rates are 1 in 66 to 1 in 70, depending on where you look. There's also these disorders called sensory and processing disorders, and it's said that 1 in 6 kids has a sensory and processing disorder. A lot of times, which are labeled as autism, but there's the way everybody manufactures and creates products and buildings and you name it. The next generation of disability is going to be a lot different than what we've ever experienced before, and the quantity of people that have these types of disabilities. So we're trying to help out, at least on the side of making equipment that helps helps create therapy opportunities, helps integrate people, and helps families and children that suffer from these disabilities to overcome through play, which is another great Kiwanis initiative of really making everybody and everything inclusive. And then keeping up with current standards talks about playground safety standards, and we can talk about that if we have more time. I think that's a little bit better to discuss on a one-on-one personal, or at least in a smaller group setting, just because everybody has different situations. So we'll talk through some of the demographics that make up these topics, and if we need to go back and cover anything on the safety side, we can do that. So prevalence of obesity among children in the United States. So since 1980, which is when we did our tracking, obesity rates have doubled amongst kids 2 to 5, and they've tripled amongst kids 6 to 11. So the numbers are really staggering. There's a lot of reasons that are keeping kids outside from playing. Everything from helicopter parents to, I've heard, lawnmower parents is the new terminology that's out there. Kind of block kids from get everything out of their kids' way on the way out. But we have a continuing education program where we talk about how generationally we've changed for supervisors, parents, etc., have limited the amount of access that kids can have to nature by not allowing them to wander out as far as they used to. But that's one of the reasons that kids have more obesity, is because they can't get out as much. There's also technology and there's other reasons that kids aren't getting out of play. So we talk about that. Just to give you an idea of what obesity costs in the United States, America spends about $147 billion on the direct and indirect costs of obesity, which is about 9.1% of our medical spending, and that's estimated to probably double in the next 10 to 15 years. So it's very important, and it's great if an organization like Kiwanis, partnered up with us. Together we can help try and tackle these problems together. So also, one other topic, being overweight is the number one reason that people are not turned away from the armed forces today. So on all aspects of the spectrum, public, private, etc., obesity is an issue that we can help combat together. Kids in crisis, this is talking about the nature deficit disorder. We talked about kids, whether it's electronic media or social media, the amount of time kids are spending in school, recess is being shortened. No Child Left Behind Act really has decreased the amount of time kids get to spend outside. So for all these reasons, kids are not getting time in nature, which helps, has a lot of benefit from educational to personal to social to confidence building. So these are things that we can work on together through play initiatives to really make a difference. On the disability side of the spectrum and addressing how that works, the demographics at least that go into reasons we really have focused on this, and it's become an emerging topic in the play industry. So out of every 1,000 children enrolled in elementary schools, this was taken between 2008 and 2009. That was the last time that they did a really thorough snapshot of the disability level. 132 out of 1,000 kids were considered to have disabilities. Now, with the ADA, as I mentioned, they really catered that act to the mobility device-driven segment of the market. However, if you break that number out and you actually look at what the disabilities are, you can see that 1% are mobility device-driven. The rest, there's about a third that have learning disabilities, a quarter that have speech and language disabilities, cognitive is even smaller. So you can go down and see the different disabilities and realize that there really is a need for fully inclusive playgrounds. And aside from, you don't necessarily have to do a fully inclusive playground. There are a lot of independence, and even the layout of a playground can be inclusive using standard pieces and knowing what your disability that you're catering to is. And part of what a Kiwanis group can do is add that extra touch. So the town's putting in the park, and they know they want to have some inclusive elements. Our partnership can really help you personify and give you the information that you need, as well as provide guidance and help really put in, take a regular good space that you're going to put in and really make it an amazing and great one. And then talk a little bit about urbanization before. Right now, in the United States, it's estimated that approximately 80% of the population lives in cities. Across the world, and by 2030, it's estimated that 70% of humanity will live in urban areas. The younger generations are moving to cities, so there is somewhat of a demographic shift away from suburbia. On the whole, it may not be in your local community, but on the whole, that's what the demographics are showing. So there's organizations out there called like the Trust for Public Lands. They're trying to put parks within a half a mile to everybody's dwelling, so that everybody has equal access to parks. So there's a lot of national initiatives trying to get people outdoors, get people healthy, provide opportunities. So for you as a Kiwanis community, keeping people in your community, not to mention also keeping people getting new fresh blood into the Kiwanis organization, you can really use play as a vehicle to help get some younger people in, as well as it's good for multi-generational activities. So that's also very good as well. I'm going to show a video right now. It's a 2-minute video. I believe this video is important. There's a group in Napa Valley, California, and they've picked play as the initiative that they use to channel, I guess, all their community service. They've done, at the time of this video, they did about, I think they're on their 60-something playground. I'm sure by now they're up to 90 or so playgrounds. But I just want to show you exactly what they do, how they do it, and the impact that it has. So I'm going to roll this video. Like I said, it's 2 minutes long. So Jim, let me know if there's any volume issues.
Hi, I'm Jim Roberts, the past lieutenant governor of the Kiwanis Club of Napa. We have a group of 35 of our Kiwanis members here today at Fairview Park. We're doing our 57th and 58th play structures. We're building them on Corbin Napa Park, and this is one of our main projects of the club. We do so many things, but mostly for children. And this is the light. You can see the fun they're having. And then we have doctors, we have dentists, we have a Superior Court judge, we have lawyers, we have all these unique people. Our club is half women, half men, and they all share the work and share the duty. You know, we don't get to do this shoulder to shoulder at a meeting. It doesn't work that way. We have a little time to talk. This we have all day. We have Friday and Saturday where the great fellowships going on. You can just pan around and see these people enjoy. They're smiling. They're just happy to do this for the children of Napa. We've been doing it for 13 years now, and we're ready to do more. How are you doing, everybody?
So that's the video. You can see the kind of impact that a group could have, and there's community build options available. We'll talk through that so you really can get the ownership and the participation. So it's not like you're just raising money and handing it over to somebody. It's really a full turnkey group operation. So Landscape Structures, we are a vision sponsor of Kiwanis. We did find that our missions and goals as a company align very well with the missions and goals of Kiwanis. And the partnership actually turned out to be an amazing thing. We have had a lot of cross-population, if you will. One of the local sales reps that works in your area is also a Kiwanian. I think Tony may be a Kiwanian as well soon, and I'll show you, I'll introduce those guys to you via presentation. I'm actually in the process of looking for a new Kiwanis club myself. I was a Kiwanian in the club, but I found one that might be a little bit closer and easier to get to for me. So everybody from the top down in our organization is jumping on board and working with your groups. You guys do amazing work, and we'd love to be a part of it. It really fits in well with our culture and what we do. So Kiwanis projects, our goals are really connecting local clubs, give you pride and your community pride through play. So that's the goal. I'll show you a couple examples of jobs they have done. This is Riverside Park in Iola, Kansas. This park is, aside from being a terrific park, there's a lot of inclusive elements to it, but there's Kiwanis branding around. It makes a mark on the community. It's a place to play, for everybody. There's access to all the equipment. It's 100% inclusive. And it's not always the child that's playing that has a disability. Sometimes it's the supervisor or the parent. And providing these play spaces and letting the community know that Kiwanis was a part of that is a great thing and a great opportunity for you guys. Olson Park in Wilmington, North Carolina. Kiwanis partnered up with Miracle League on this project. There's a lot of organizations out there that actually specialize in inclusive playgrounds and creating community movements to help get these types of spaces in. The Miracle League specifically, they designed a baseball diamond, and then that's all poured-in-place level rubber that allows them to play a simulated baseball game, and it gives kids the opportunity to play ball that ordinarily would not have the opportunity, sometimes because of field access, or rules or regulations or whatever disability they have. This organization provides that space. Kiwanis teamed up with them in this park in North Carolina, and they provided some funding, and they provided help in the build and resources. And this was the sign that they put up representing the Kiwanis participation in that. So it doesn't, there's varied levels of participation. If your group is looking for a project and you want to do a playground and you have the ability to fundraise and you have community builders that can help out, that's great. If you just want to do, a piece here or there, or donate your time or money or resources, you can do that also. The levels vary. So in conjunction with the Vancouver International Kiwanis Convention, we did a community build playground, and this is the result of it. I think there's also going to be a community build playground for the upcoming Ontario International Convention as well. But we'll get more details on that as well as that approaches. But we did the community build, and I'll show you the process of what it worked out at. There's a lot of personalization opportunities with Landscape Structures being the vision sponsor of Kiwanis. They've given us the exclusive right to do the Kiwanis logo using their trademarks and designs. We've created pre-approved playgrounds as well as pre-approved logos that we can place in strategic spots. So if your group is putting something in, you can make sure you get the recognition for anything from doing a sign like you just saw, the laser cut roof panels. We also did for the Centennial, we did actual branded Centennial design playgrounds. There were 3 different versions and different price points, to make kind of a statement where the president was going to be stopping at several of those places. We had Centennial Kiwanis playground. So we can provide a 3D to you so you can create an image and something for everybody to rally around and work towards. Provide all the resources that you need to get the marketing and branding available for you. And then you can see what community build looks like and people getting together to put together a playground and create that community feel and community experience all the way through the process from ideation to installation. Here's another example of a sign you could do. It gives opportunity to give recognition to donors. And then here's the Centennial, the original design that we put out. And you can see there are 3 different options. Option 1, I believe, was 50,000. Option 2 was 75,000. Option 3 was 100,000. But if you can see on the right side of the page over here, you can actually pick independent pieces that are Kiwanis branded. So if you just, if you had a few $1,000s you wanted to spend, or 10 or 20,000, you could pick individual pieces and build up a play space yourself as well. And then we have a Kiwanis 2.0. So after the Centennial year, we wanted to create new Kiwanis designs for people in case they wanted to do something different from the Centennial. And we provided that. One of the other things you also get with doing a playground with us through Kiwanis is you get either a free sign for recognition or a bench. So an opportunity to get some free products during the process is fantastic as well. Community builds, we can help support. Ventura has done a ton of community builds. They have them going on all over the state, and they're very successful, like I said. And it's an opportunity for you to save money, number one, but also to provide that community experience and get everybody involved, get everybody on board, and give everyone the experience throughout the process. That was at the Vancouver job. It was a little rainy that day, from what I understand. So that was them putting the playground together. In general, it's just about creating community and working together. So a great Kiwanis one-day project could be a playground. I think last year, I don't know how many total, but a lot of groups did that as their Kiwanis one-day project. But it gives you opportunity to do recurring activity. It's you're doing advertising, you're doing marketing, you're doing fundraising. You're keeping your community in your group, and you're bringing people in. It enhances your brand, and it gives everybody recognition in your area. It's high impact because it helps people directly. It means people will benefit, your community will benefit from having the play space, and it'll increase your membership. So definitely a worthwhile thing to look into. As I mentioned, you have the opportunity of a free bench with the Kiwanis branding on there, or a free sign. So either of those come with any of those projects. This is your local team in Ohio. So on the left here, we have Jason Hickman. He is a Kiwanian. Tony Shadwick is one of your newest members on the sales side. And then Eric Sheffer is there on your right. He's the owner of Ventura. Tony and Jason have been in this business for 20 plus years. So they were both installers. Jason actually worked for Landscape Structures before he went into his installation business with Tony, and then they partnered up with Eric, and now we have a really experienced team. The acronym after their name is CPSI, is Certified Playground Safety Inspector. These guys are play professionals. They're fun fanatics. They're there to help you out, and they would love to come talk with your groups, teach you about play in general, talk about partnership with Kiwanis, etc., anything you guys need. Right now, there's also the Legacy of Play contest, which was just released. And if you guys are familiar with this, the Legacy of Play contest is basically an opportunity for you to tell a story about, a playground group or playground project that you're working on. You do a write-up on it. You submit it online on Facebook. I highly encourage you to take part and participate. Even if you don't win the contest, there could be opportunities to get free product offerings and help get you some stuff for your play project if you decide to do one regardless. So I encourage you to take part, sign up, learn what it's about, and just basically take advantage of the program, and it'll give you more exposure and help update your groups and keep everybody on a new platform to keep getting new members. So that's a little bit about who we are. I'd love the opportunity to meet and work with all of you guys. Our local team, Penn in Ohio, is a fantastic group, and we're happy to be partners. We're happy to be. We've done a ton of great projects. Looking forward to doing a ton more. And thanks for letting us talk tonight. I appreciate it. So, thank you, Jim.
Great. Thanks, Mike. We really appreciate you and your team there at Landscape Structures and all that you guys do to partner with us at Kiwanis International and here in Ohio. Thanks again for joining us this evening.
Thank you very much.
Also, this is Eric Sheffer with Ventura. I'd just like to take the opportunity to invite everybody to come out and play with us. We have a big community build, a Kiwanis community build going on in Worcester, Ohio, April 16th. So that's on a Saturday, 2 weeks from today, roughly. Everybody's more than welcome to come and participate and see what a community build is all about.
Great. Thanks, Eric. All right. Well, we have a few other partnerships that we're going to highlight this evening. I'm going to go ahead and get our screen shared over here in a second.
You want me to stop the share?
Yeah, if you would, please.
Okay. Hold on.
Perfect. Okay, does everybody see what the Ohio Kiwanis website up on my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
Yeah, it says you're screen sharing, but I don't see anything.
Well then. Let's try it from a different browser, shall we? All right, here we go. This should work now. Do you all see the Ohio Kiwanis website?
Yep.
Perfect. Well, what I'm here to show you is a new partnership that we have in Ohio, and that is with Office Depot and Office Max, which is now combined to be one company. If you'll see on the right-hand side of your screen, this news was just announced very recently. And basically what this partnership is, it's a group buying program that Office Max and Office Depot have for the Ohio district. And how it works is you open up where it says click here, you do that and you open it, it'll open up a PDF that you can print out and take into the store. And it's basically a little rewards card. And the card gives you access to preferred pricing at Office Depot and Office Max locations nationwide that's been established with Kiwanis. And then also a portion of the proceeds go back to the district as part of that partnership too. So you're spending for your office supplies, back to school supplies, things for school drives, and for SLP programs, and for your club. All of that can go to support the district through a partnership. That's one of the main partnerships that we've developed specifically here in Ohio thus far, but we've got a team hard at work exploring some other partnerships as well, and hopefully we'll have some of those on board within the next couple of months. The other partnerships at Kiwanis.org that you can look at, real easy to navigate to, just under the About section here. You can see all of the partners. So you have our vision partners, such as Landscape Structures, and there's quick links here, and they tell you about each one. Nickelodeon and the U.S. Army are two other vision partners that we have with Kiwanis International. We also have some co-sponsors for our SLP groups. For this one here, it's Rustic Pathways. They do perspective leadership programs where the kids can travel the world basically and be immersed in different cultures and civilizations. Let's see. Promotional partners. We've got a few of those. I'll go over these briefly here. We've got Scholastic Books. They do literacy outreach programs, including Reading Oasis, that can be developed for schools as a signature project. And then Up With People. They've actually performed at a couple of Kiwanis conventions, but they do some great things as well. We have some preferred charities. So these are sort of partners, but they're preferred charities. That includes the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, the Boy Scouts of America, the Children's Miracle Network, that we also participate with IHOP on for the pancake breakfasts, March of Dimes, and of course UNICEF, who we work in conjunction on the Eliminate project with. We have some community partners as well. Currently, that consists of Sister Cities International and JCI. JCI being one of the newest partnerships that Kiwanis has had. And it's a great way to come up with joint community projects, as well as a good pool for prospective members as they age out of the JCI organization. We have a couple of cause marketing partners here that we'll share. As I alluded to, IHOP is one of them for National Pancake Day that supports the Children's Miracle Network. And then become a partner. So if you have recommendations for anybody to become a partner with the organization, Pam Norman is our Director of Corporate Relations at Kiwanis International. We also have a team here in Ohio that's working, as I said, on developing some partnerships too. So if you have ideas or suggestions for partnerships, please do send those our way as well. And then one last partnership that I wanted to really briefly touch on, if I pull it up here, is at the Ohio District Kiwanis Foundation. We have a partnership with Amazon Smile as well as with Kroger. And I don't see the Kroger one on here, but it's here somewhere at odkf.org. And those basically are reward type programs similar to Office Depot, but the funds through shopping at those locations go back to the district foundation to support all of the grants and scholarships and such that they do at the foundation. So with that, we will end our presentation and refer you back to any of those websites to connect with us. And once again, thank you everybody for all that you do in Ohio. Take care.